What made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing.
Katt Williams might have been cooking when he said rappers were going to start getting exposed. Now Drake's name just popped up in those wild Diddy tapes. And it ain't just his name. You can actually hear him screaming in the background. Sounds crazy, right? But when you stack up everything that's been floating around since way back in 2014, it doesn't seem that far-fetched anymore. This Diddy case cracked open a vault of dirt, and suddenly, all the puzzle pieces are snapping into place. Let's rewind to the early hours of December 8th, 2014, at a wild VMA afterparty. That's when things got heated between Diddy and Drake, and not just some yelling match. Multiple outlets backed it up. Diddy allegedly caught Drake off guard outside the club and laid into him so bad, Drake had to get checked at the emergency room. No joke. Later, Diddy tried to downplay it on air, claiming he never touched Drake. But come on, people weren't buying that. The streets were already buzzing. Even 50 Cent chimed in, throwing shade at Diddy, saying he couldn't recognize a hit if it was served to him on a plate. So what kicked all this off? The beat for 0 to 100. Diddy claimed that beat was meant for him. Drake heard it, flipped it, and dropped one of his biggest tracks, while Diddy was still sitting on it. That move, it lit a fire under Diddy, and that night in Miami, that's when it exploded. But that beatdown wasn't the finale. Nah, that was just the beginning of Diddy unleashing some serious pent-up rage. Behind closed doors, things were way darker than they looked. In August 2015, Diddy hit up the Breakfast Club talking like it was all peace. No beef, just love. But behind that smile, word on the streets in LA said Diddy had put a silent bounty on Drake's head. Quiet, but serious. If anyone in the city spotted Drake, there was money in it. And that's when everything started shifting. Folks in LA began acting strange. According to street sources, calls were flying around. Drake's here. Drake just pulled up there. People were watching, moving in silence. That's when Drake made a power move. He connected with the game. Smartest decision he could have made. The game wasn't just a rapper. He had real pull in the streets and knew how to move in heavy circles. Drake knew if Diddy had muscle in LA, he needed someone just as locked in. And the game? He confirmed the heat himself. He said people hit him up, told him to line Drake up, but instead of selling him out, he did the opposite. He protected him. Still, nothing in that world comes without a price. So Drake gave him a track, 100, and shot the video right in Compton.
And then Puff, that's what Puff was calling me down to do it. But Puff can't even hear a hit. See, I know he couldn't.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy.
He still hear things from back then, that time.
Oh, got you now.
Right.
Okay. Got you.
He can't buy the right. He can't. You play it for him right now, and it's hot. He can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. When you hit Drake, because he used the beat that he didn't actually use.
0 to 100.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So if he heard it, and then he heard Drake's use it, but it wasn't a hit yet until Drake put the lines on it. And he's upset about that because he can't hear it, but he felt like he took something from him.
That wasn't about making hits. It was a survival strategy. That move wasn't just for views, it was protection in plain sight. And the game didn't hold back. He rapped it plain, ninjas called me to set you up, want me to come and wet you up, cause you out of town too like Biggie. Then heard about the ish Diddy on, so I came through to vest you up. Boom, receipts in the lyrics. Still, even with the game in his corner, Drake wasn't chilling. During the 100 shoot, Whack 100 said Drake got spooked when he spotted some faces he didn't recognize. He knew the danger was real. Drake panicked and jumped straight into a van, ready to vanish on the spot. Even though the guys around were there to protect him, he wasn't about to roll the dice. Whack 100 had to literally chase him down, calm him up, and break it all down before they could even get back to filming. Now fast forward to the present. Diddy's neck deep in federal court drama, but it's what Cassie said on the stand that flipped the script completely. During her redirect, prosecutors pressed her about what exactly triggered Diddy to snap and put hands on her. Her answer? She said it straight. She was headed to OVO Fest, Drake's own festival. Cassie told the court, "Sean came to my home and tried to attack me." And here's the bombshell. She still went. Yep. Even after all that chaos, Cassie got on her flight, touched down in Toronto, and pulled up to OVO Fest. That courtroom was frozen. If that doesn't scream motive, what does? Diddy must have felt like Drake was snatching his girl. And it wasn't just some paranoid thought. An old rumor from 2013 resurfaced mid-trial, claiming Drake might have signed Cassie to his OVO label. Whether it was true or not didn't even matter. In Diddy's head, Drake was stepping all over his territory. And then a wild tweet from Lil Duval made a comeback too. He said, "Back then I heard Diddy swung on Drake in Miami for saying hello to Cassie."
Drake comes to Compton to shoot the video.
100. He shot it on Brazil and Wimbledon.
What all happened during that video? What was that?
He pulled up, Drake gave us love, Stunner cleared it for me, didn't charge me, Drake didn't charge for the verse. Drake actually brought his film crew to film it for us. That's what he wanted to do. We was on the famous Brazil and Wimbledon shooting it, and we had to move blocks. And you know, when we move blocks, we send the little homies to do what they need to do. Drake kind of seen some activity and, you know, shit. He did what a motherfucker you supposed to do. He got out of there. So we sent somebody to get him. Bro, it's cool. That ain't for you. That's for us. Because, you know, we seen going on. But, you know, we moving blocks. We're not just going to hit the block without the block being right. So we had to make sure the homies, you know, went and cleared the block.
Folks brushed it off like a joke. But now, it's starting to sound real. Plus, if you dig into Drake's track 4 p.m. in Calabasas, the clues were always hiding in plain sight. Every line was telling the story. And here's where it gets even messier. Insiders are whispering that those Diddy tapes aren't just random clips. They're vault-level files packed with faces and voices the industry never thought would see daylight. We're talking about high-profile rappers, label bosses, even people tied to major media. Some names reportedly match up with previous rumors that were dismissed as conspiracies. But now, they're resurfacing with chilling accuracy. The craziest part, a few of the folks allegedly caught up in those recordings were once tight with Diddy. They partied together, did business together, and now, it's like everyone's trying to distance themselves. Unfollowed, deleted posts, zero public support, silence all around. That ain't just coincidence. That's fear. And when you zoom out, the pattern is wild. First, the fight with Drake. Then whispers about Diddy making moves behind the scenes to shut things down. Add Cassie's testimony and the mention of OVO Fest. Suddenly, this ain't just about drama. It's about control, intimidation, and keeping people quiet. Industry vets are nervous. The energy is shifting. Everyone's waiting to see what drops next, because if these tapes really do leak, the fallout could be nuclear. Careers might not just get canceled. Entire legacies could crumble. And the worst part? This might just be the beginning. If even half of what's being talked about is real.
You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he...
The music world's about to get flipped upside down. And no one's safe, not even the biggest names in the game. Now let's talk about the legal storm that's closing in. Because this ain't just a scandal, it's turning into a full-blown federal meltdown. Feds are stacking cases left and right, and Diddy's name keeps coming up in sealed documents, private investigations, and quiet subpoenas that nobody was supposed to hear about, but leaks. Oh, they're coming fast now. Insiders say what's happening behind closed doors is way bigger than anyone thought. We're talking about RICO-level stuff, organized moves, hush money trails, and people getting handled just to keep mouths shut. Lawyers are already stepping back from certain clients. Investigators are flipping files over to the feds, and whispers say there's already a list of who's next. And guess what? Some of the footage from those infamous Diddy parties might be evidence now. Not just rumors, Actual surveillance, phone recordings, maybe even stuff pulled from cloud backups. That's why celebs are acting weird lately. Going ghost, locking accounts, wiping socials clean. They know what's at stake. One source even said a known artist already cut a deal to cooperate. That's why this wave is moving so fast. Somebody started talking. If that's true, and if more tapes or receipts drop, it's not just Diddy who's in trouble. It's a whole network, the kind that's been running behind the scenes for decades. This ain't about jealousy, clout, or petty beef anymore. It's about power, silence, and how far people will go to keep control. And if the dam really breaks, we're about to witness one of the biggest takedowns in music history.